The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The living room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now 6:07 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the True Nation Station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are.
Culture, cough, baby.
Yeah. Culture, cough.
Culture crazy here.
Culture crazy, right?
Wow.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, and reiterate that Columbus lied, but also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for
Princess.
Princess?
Yeah, no, Tony P is not the princess, but we have a upcoming princess of media and mentorship. And rocks and stuff. Is oil, gas?
I thought you was going to say the P this week stands for poor connectivity.
No, that is we would have got predicament, but we've done that before.
Yeah.
P is for performance, but we've done that before.
Right.
P is for postcard and thing, because that's the only way we could contact the people
we
love and care about now.
Right. If you don't know, there was a service outage for a certain network since about 2:30 this afternoon, and the majority of us have been affected in some way, form, or fashion. So for us to get here on time today and communicate that we would be in studio, I had to send Ricardo a smoke signal. Then Ricardo forwarded said smoke signal via pigeon, homing pigeon.
The P is for pigeon.
Right, via homing pigeon to our guest today. Yeah.
So the people not mistaken in terms of seeing a third party.
No.
The P could be for party.
I just see just like invented party. Just like what Ola Tunji is saying in the background here.
Yeah, for real. But yes, we have with us this evening in person.
Yes, in person.
So the P could be for person.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stop that now. Give me two more. Yeah, but the P could be for in person, right? After having started working with us in the pandemic.
In the Panini.
In the Panini. Yeah. We have none other than Miss Dana Tankoo of Please and Tankoo.
Good evening.
No. You need to introduce her better.
Oh, wait, listen, Aaron, you do your thing now.
We have with us this evening the songstress, the sweet voice, the actual sweet voice that hails from Voix Riches.
Oh my.
She is our segment contributor from Please and Tankoo. We welcome into the living room this evening, Miss Dana Tankoo. Cue fanfare.
Dana T, the one, the only.
The P is for Please and Tankoo.
Yeah, right. Well, PLC
So many
this week.
P's.
Yeah.
So many P's.
Think too much P's. Dana, we're not here for a formal conversation this evening, right? We're here to have fun inside the living room. But in having fun, we also have to take care of ourselves, regardless.
Absolutely.
So we ask our first question that we always ask anybody that joins us. How are you?
I am genuinely good today. I was a little panicky, another P,
That's what we're saying.
with this service outage because I was on the road. I didn't know where to park. I didn't know where to go. But here I am, on time, and was waiting for Ricardo and Aaron at the studio.
Please don't let Kenny hear that.
Kenny let me in, and then
Oh
he
my
was
gosh,
downstairs troubling you.
I'm never going to hear the end
He
of that.
called you. What did he call you? Aaron 86 late.
Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah, that sounds about correct. And you know, as you said, I think we were here earlier.
We outside waiting.
We were outside waiting because the fact that we couldn't get on to you, we didn't know if you were upstairs or if you were coming, and you didn't know how to find the place because without Google Maps we can't find nothing. And
No, well, I took a drive through first, you know, just to see where I was going and stuff.
Right.
Saw the sign, say, okay, that's where I'm gonna go at 4:30. So I
wow,
had
you was early.
I had an hour to kill, and I just so happened to bounce up some gym buddies, and one of them works on the street, so she told me where to park, and I said, nice, I'll park there, and then I'll just wing it from there.
Right.
And me being a confident, strong individual, that's a lie, strong individual, I said, let me walk upstairs and see what's he seen. Maybe they're upstairs waiting for me. Maybe there's a receptionist.
Well, the receptionist would have left already because business hours at work are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that's the time you could come and get your Calypso Fiesta tickets.
Excellent plug. Yeah.
I try my best.
So the reception you got was from the head honcho himself.
What a receptionist.
PP, from Mr. Philippe.
Yeah. So guys, you know, we're here to discuss fun things, right?
PHUN?
No, FUN.
Oh, I'm glad you finished spelling, you know. I now got to ask you what kind of... Anyway, this is me actively listening.
We are here to discuss fun things today. And when I say fun, we're not just talking about the fun that Ricardo and I had on Saturday at the Pan Man concert. Because that was an exhibition of showmanship.
Yeah. Joshua is a talent.
Yeah.
He's quite a performer, quite an entertainer.
The only thing he needs to work on.
He's keeping his shirts on. Doing
Thank you very much.
I mean...
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, but we had a time at the Pan Man concert on Saturday night, and we will be having a time at Panorama Semis on Sunday as well. I'm trying to plug everything in tonight's show.
So that when we start the ramble...
Yeah.
All right. But...
The P this week is for plug.
The P this week is for plug.
Because the plug was pulled.
Go ahead.
On that network today.
Oh my word. Oh my word. That is a valid point. But you know what? From what I heard, it was a fiber optic issue.
Yes. They pulled the plug on the fiber.
Yeah, it was... the majority of the areas that were affected were south.
South and central.
And central. Right, so some people saying is... they start the conspiracy talk, you know, they do like south people, ting, tra-la-la.
The conspiracy that I heard was that it was a solar flare.
Oh,
yeah, remember, that's a thing that's supposed to happen, huh?
So it has begun.
It has begun.
It has begun.
Right? But you know, for some things, when they begin, what you have to do is prepare for them.
Another people.
Right? So in instances like this, how did you prepare for something like this? If it eventually happened that, you know, hey, all connectivity went down, how are you going to keep in touch with your loved ones?
Well, I don't know if you know this about me, Aaron, but I'm a beacon of light and righteousness, purity and justice, right? So in prayer and meditation, I connect with the souls of those who are of interest and important to me. I'm always connected to my loved ones, Aaron, with my loving heart.
I, on the other hand,
thank you for bringing some semblance of normalcy.
Starbucks, where I knew they would have Wi-Fi, and I WhatsApp called my mother. And I told her what was going on because I'm pretty sure she did not realize that the network was down. And she would have wondered, well, why ain't home yet? Why I'm not hearing from her? No WhatsApps, nothing. So my preparedness is that, you see, whenever I'm driving along a route, I take note of certain places with Wi-Fi, places with bathrooms, and places with ATMs. And I knew where I was going, took that route, went straight to Starbucks, fake bought myself a drink, and used the bathroom and connected to some Wi-Fi. Called my mother, sort that out, message Ricardo in a panic, and sorted that out too, and here we are today.
I want to take this opportunity to throw another P word into the conversation. The living room is not a podcast. The living room is not a podcast. People think that we only exist online on YouTube, but I want to pat myself on the back a little bit. Thank you very much, Dana. We on FM radio, people.
Yeah.
That's right.
We on FM radio. If you can't catch us on YouTube, you can catch us on the bandwidth.
90.1 FM every Tuesday from 6 p.m. barring live broadcast.
Right? What I'm saying is, don't get it twisted. Yeah, we might have 22 views on our replay, but our WAC FM listeners are all over the world.
Correct is right.
They listen to us live on the FM radio.
And not just on the FM radio. You know, there are so many ways you could listen to WAC.
Tell us some, Aaron.
There's YouTube, there's Twitch, there's Facebook, there's the WAC app, there's the TuneIn app, there's the Trinidad radio station website. It has so many ways, and I think I forget a couple still. There are so many ways. You should have no excuse not to be logged into the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM.
Wow, it's almost as if the P in Phillips is for platform. See what I did there?
My
Please,
gosh.
he if he listening, he probably feeling so good right now.
Hey, you should feel good. You know, if a man of his age should be doing what he doing with vigor and vim.
Right. Now, as we talking about preparedness, I actually stopped in by my parents before I got here. I doubt they knew anything that was going on, because to them, Wi-Fi is luxury.
But it's not just Wi-Fi.
Answering the phone is also a luxury.
Okay.
So for them, it's I'll call my mother now. The phone will be next to her, and she will call me back 20 minutes later. You call me?
Yeah, I can't comment. Being someone who practices the ring out. Yeah.
Depending on who it is, I actually had the phone ring.
Dana, hear this now. You're in the living room. First time, real time.
Real
time.
A cozy living room.
Right. It's been a while. I know we had, the end of the year was busy for a lot of people, challenging in many ways for many of us. You started 2024.
2024 started on what, a Monday?
Yes.
I feel so, yeah.
Right. So, as a family tradition, every New Year's Day, I spend it with my family. So, you always have these New Year's Day fetes and parties and things.
Yeah.
No, I will spend it with my family. This year, I started it by visiting both sides of the family, my mom and my dad's side of the family.
Nice.
And to me, that's a real solid way to start a year, right? Outside of that, I took a very long moment with myself, and I gave thanks for all the growth that I have grown in the last year. Because that is something that you notice within yourself and you need to be proud of. And oftentimes you don't take a moment to be proud of yourself, And any of my shortcomings, I looked at it and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to tackle. And of course, I prepared myself. Remember, P is the first point that you made, right? I prepared myself for the carnival season. Carnival oftentimes gives me a lot of anxiety. And I had to mentally prepare for everything. And I took some time and I said, okay, this is how we're going to face it this year. I'm not too sure if I'll execute it exactly how I want to, but I did take some time and take note of that as well.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Carnival was giving me anxiety until I moved from Superior Street.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd gotten so accustomed to living between two bars that there was always some level of activity going on and some kind of background noise and the blue lights flashing. So when I moved and wasn't on a main road, wasn't between two bars, I got accustomed to being quiet. So when the time came to get back out into the events, and of course with the panini, everybody end up a little socially withdrawn, I start having things like sensory overload and that type of thing. When I go to a party now, I want to be on the outskirts. I had to take a little something to take the edge off just so that I'm not in hyper-vigilant mode.
So mine is actually the flip to yours, right? Growing up in a space where you kind of stay inside for Carnival, you always find yourself on the outside looking in. And as you get older, you realize that you're capable of doing so much more. And then I'm sitting here at my age, which I shall not disclose.
P is for privacy, people.
P is for privacy. At my age, and I'm like, okay, I can actually go to all these things. I can involve myself in so many things. But as you say, sensory overload. You have too much things to involve yourself in, and then you find yourself back again on the outside looking in. and wondering, wait, boy, did I waste it? Or did I actually take advantage of it? Which is why when you asked me how I started the new year, I took a moment and thought about how to attack the carnival season.
I feel a beating this carnival season into submission because apparently a man going back to the masters and pull the plug on the whole season. We have I don't want to call anybody name in particular. I know he's an avid listener to the station and I take nothing away from the man's focus. But I've seen a lot of people raise an uproar about his absence and the contenders not necessarily contending. But Aaron, as a man who in the middle of the culture, at the end of the day, you can't spell carnival without two E's, and you can't spell Aaron without two E's either. Yeah, I'm gonna stretch for that one. What has been your view on the season so far? Like, I want to stay out, Dana ready to get in, but you've been in the melee.
For me, it's a tough one because I have no choice but to be involved. Right? From the aspect of this is my job. This is what I do.
And we met your boss just now, and he's quite an intimidating
Yeah, she met
character.
the two of them.
The two?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, correct, is right.
Yeah, just met the two of them in a space of like 10 minutes or
it
5
was-
minutes or less.
It was a lot.
Right? And I've been out and about. I think every weekend for the season, buying the weekend of the 13th.
Is he?
I don't know which, but it looks like somebody getting back some kind of connectivity is back. Yeah, that's what that is. Connectivity is back. I've been outside every weekend except for the weekend of the 13th, which was my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
Right? And as somebody who is in it, I still experience a sensory overload. Because when it's done, I want to go to quiet mode.
When is done for you?
All right, so when I say it's done, right? So let's say, for example, I work an event, and that event is done. I want to go into quiet mode. I don't want to hear loud music. I don't want to hear music at all. I just want peace and quiet. That's what I want at that point in time. Peace and quiet. Because I just went into an experience where it's everything. There's people, there's noise, there's smell, everything. And then after that, it's too much. I just want to go back and retreat. So I understand both sides of it. However, with the aspect that you just raised with respect to the music, if you listen or entrust what you consume for music into places that try to force an agenda, you will only hear certain things.
Gasp.
Right? If you want to hear the music, right? For example, I'll use an example which is going to happen tonight. When we leave here, Ricardo, we're going to listen Pan.
Yeah.
Right?
Panyard Crawl.
Panyard Crawl.
Hashtag P.
Wow. If you want to hear good Pan, travel the country to hear good Pan. Don't depend on people saying that, oh, well, Panorama prelims done because they leave Port of Spain.
Right.
Go and listen to the Pan. There was Pan in the East last night. There's Pan in South Central tonight. And when I say South Central, even going down to Saparia. So, if you want to hear what is there to be offered, not just in Pan or in Kaiso when you could go to the various tents to hear the different artists. If you want to hear the soca, don't just think you're going to one fete.
So just in this for all intents and purposes, you could find Kaiso intense.
For all intents and purposes.
Wow, oh my gosh. What is going on tonight?
For all intents and purposes, seek out the things that you want to find.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
As Preety says in his song, if you want to find a good soca, they send a search party to find it.
Hey, we're gonna pretty this year.
That's actually Preety song I just quoted.
Well, yeah.
Search party to find me.
Oh, right.
I'll play it before we leave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But that's the thing. For me, if you can't complain that they don't have music out there or there's a gap because a certain individual is pursuing education. If it have a gap, you need to fill that gap.
Aaron, before I ask Dana this question, I want to load it with this one. Approximately how many songs, how many calypsos and soca's are released every year for Carnival?
on an average year, you might get at least 1,000 songs.
At least 1,000.
At least.
At least 1,000 songs.
And that's across the genres. You're talking about the rhythms that release and you're never going to hear. You're talking about the artists that when they do an interview, only hear the song that time. You're talking about the hits that, I say that loosely, the hits that play in rotation.
The chosen ones.
The chosen ones, thank you very much. The blackboard ones, for want of better words. Then when you're talking calypso, it have ones that a man might release one early, then he might release one again, then he might touch up the one from before and he come back with that again. Real music is released.
Right.
So,
and the reason I asked that is because Dana had mentioned in conversation there might be a sensory overload in terms of people just can't digest and absorb and process this much music in this short space of time.
Absolutely. Christmas is a very, very culturally rich season in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And to go from that straight to Carnival, another very culturally rich season, where is the break? You understand? Where is the break? For me as a performer, Christmas is heavy with performances. I love indulging myself into Christmas, right? And right after that is Carnival. At which point do I allow myself to switch or transition? It has to be... Absolutely not. Parang does not end until the beginning of January.
no, I know that, but I'm just saying why I use Boxing Day as the reference is because that's what...
That's the day that a lot of soca
the-
artists
other-
release
other
their
frequencies.
Christmas,
well,
right?
beside that, that's the day of the switch.
You're gonna pick a fight here.
No, I will not pick that fight. We know the angle that I would choose to go, but I'm trying my best not to go down that angle tonight.
Noted.
Unless provoked.
P-word. Yeah, but Dana, that's a valid point. We already saturated from this rich cultural process that is Christmas, and then you blink, and there are fetes.
Let me tell you
Day,
something.
Christmas Day.
Could I add to your point, Dana?
Sure.
I think what has happened is that Christmas has gone from a season to a day. Right? Because if you really look at it, a lot of the stations, new music for Carnival 2024, I'm just using this as an example, would have been released from August 2023.
Right.
So when you're coming from there, the percentage of newer music being played by all frequencies, it increases. So right, there's an inverse relationship between the distance to Carnival and the amount of new music played. Right? So and it starts to go up. Then you reach.
I'm not drawing that graph. I just
No,
I'm
just
have to take your word for it.
I'm just showing you here in the time from Carnival to the amount of anyway.
Yeah. You what? I don't remember. It's two science and numbers, people. Anyway.
You remember he's a bit perplexed this evening.
Yeah.
Look. Anyway,
I'm seeing it, Aaron.
actively listening.
Right? So when you're seeing the new music going up as the time gets closer to Carnival, then you reach the Christmas. You'll get a break for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then there's an exponential spike because, as Dana just said, a lot of artists target to release music for Boxing Day because there used to be an event in Skinner Park, Boxing Day in the park.
Right.
Or Parkway Jam or whatever the name of it used to be.
Or try not to get hurt.
Hello.
I am sorry, that Boxing Night used to
Used to be grimy.
it was not, I wouldn't say
No,
grimy.
I wouldn't say that, but it was a bit rough.
It
Let's
was
just leave it like
it was
that.
closer to downtown than uptown.
Right?
I see.
So with that being said, so the exponential increase come Boxing Day now. Christmas don't get forgotten for the Christmas lovers, the real Christmas lovers. Even though Christmas extends until the 6th of January.
Yeah, but I hear that, But Dana, you as a performer with Voix Riches, the lovely group that has given us the most magnificent intro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, all have no idea what all they do there. But y'all perform with, y'all do parang. Y'all have your concert, you perform in events, corporate events with artists, and now y'all have forayed very, very boldly and bravely into soca.
I mean, we've been doing it for some time, huh?
And I'm gonna say that,
Our first experience was actually in 2017 with second stars, kings and queens, and we performed. That's right. We performed in Soca Monarch for it.
The now defunct Soca Monarch. I had to say it.
Can't spell defunct without DT, yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So yes, you were asking me something.
Yeah, no, in terms of being on both sides of that particular thing, as a performer, one, you have rehearsals, you have recordings, I presume there would have been video shoots and that type of thing. It's easy to understand why you would bring up the saturation point.
Absolutely.
Right. So if this is you who focused in certain spaces, because like Aaron is also part of your job, I could really just imagine what it's like for the rest of us who don't even have that filter of being focused in certain directions.
Well, you see, when it comes to performing in that arena, you oftentimes face the possibility that someone will ask you to accompany them for something that has been recently released. And imagine performing something that's recently released that you're not too familiar with. You're not really sure of lyrics, you're not really sure of the melody, and then you have to now build it. And you have this little train of Christmas in the air, right? You're already tired, you're already saturated from that, and now you have to create space to remember things. It's difficult, yeah? But outside of being a performer as a consumer, right? Me personally, this is just my personal experience. I love soca. But I am not going to pretend like I know all the soca for the season. What I can acknowledge is that I warm up to things, right? So you can't expect me to know every single song for the season, go on the road, go in a fete and enjoy everything that I hear. Because a lot of the times I'm going to hear something for the first time. And I do seek it out, but you don't always want to seek something out that's being thrust upon you all the time. Most of the radio stations will be on the soca switch, right? Boy, sometimes I really just want to wind down, and soca does not necessarily do that for you, right? And you may not necessarily seek things out as a result of that, right? So then you warm up to the things that are being thrust upon you by the radio stations, by persons that are being pushed on social media, etc. And in time, you'll realize a song that released on January 4th is your favorite song of 2024 done in August. Right? So it takes some time to warm up. And I actually appreciate the people that release stuff early because you warm up to it. But what I want to ask you, Aaron, as somebody that music will pass through you frequently, right?
Faster than hot milk.
Yeah.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
Why do you think people target immediate post-Christmas and January to release their music? Is it a fear of getting cold before the road?
From what I have learned in my years of talking to soca artists and even sitting here in WAC, it's a marination process. Giving persons the opportunity to get familiar with the music in the hope that it is played repeatedly. But admittedly, as a DJ, when there are 1,000 songs being released for a season and you have a 3-hour shift or a 4-hour shift, it's impossible to play 1,000 songs in 4 hours. Because people say, oh, you're playing the music too quick. How are we supposed to know the music when you're only playing a verse and a chorus? It can't soak in. But remember, when you're working on radio and you have so much songs to expose people to, you could only do so much for the time given. One, and that is where the homework that the individual or the consumer has to come in. Now, admittedly, now, as opposed to 15 years ago, streaming platforms are more common. So hop on YouTube or hop on Spotify, hop on Apple Music and play a Soca 24 playlist, and they might get to hear some of the music. But then now it comes back to the part that a lot of the artists don't have the music on those platforms. Now, admittedly, before I continue, I must, with that being said, I must commend the Calypsonians. Because remember, Ricardo, I always used to say Calypsonians, I can't make a mix with your music if I don't have the music.
Right.
Calypsonians are now recording the tracks and sending it out.
Okay, so it's no longer the live performance that somebody catch and all they hear in the background is...
Or you hear the crowd in the background. Right? So admittedly gone are those days.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot more access to the music. But because there's an overload of the music, how much access do you really have if there's so much access?
Right. So just bringing back my question, right? Which is, why do you think they aim for such a small release period as opposed to those persons that have released from before? As you rightfully say, people will have things prepared, right? So is it a lack of preparedness?
I'm going to stop playing Kenny's song and I'm going to play a snippet. No, I'm going to play a snippet of a song. This, for me, answers your question because our culture has been painted into a box.
This is my time now. Salt. Look, I have a voice. I sing my song. I'm a calypsonian. I've been around singing my songs for so many seasons. But what kind of life could I erect? What kind of hopes must I project? 5 weeks and when it's done, then I'm back as a nobody in this tongue. Just 5 weeks and what I have to come out as a star or prepare to stab. No, this can't be an industry, but sadly that is my legacy. And it's a tragic comedy. For 5 weeks we living so gloriously. We exist on the wings of it. For 5 weeks hoping to get a hit. And in the end, you know the tale. It just be salt for the ones who fail. It's a personal experience.
It's be salt for the ones who fail. First of all, this is a beautiful song. It's beautiful. The vocals, the music, the lyrics, everything, beautifully done.
The name of the song is 5 Weeks and Salt's coming out from Marvelous Marvel. Does that answer a question as to why everybody trying to condense it into such a short space of time?
Yes.
I want this song. No, like seriously, yeah, just send it to me. Because I tried looking for it online.
No
I'm
problem.
not gonna find it.
And that's the thing. This is, I'm not saying the year that this was released, but this is an older song. So, and that's for me, that continues to be one of our problems. Cataloging.
Ooh. That is a very nice way of putting it. You're right.
I could go on Apple Music and find Michael Jackson's music from 1900.
Unreleased Tupac music dropping all the time.
Tupac is still alive. Anyway,
Come with me.
right? But I cannot go on Apple Music and find, I'm just saying, a Marshall Montano Too Young to Soca.
At least not a... You'll get a recording of a performance.
Right? So,
yeah.
So for me, that's one of the biggest problems I think it has. Now, to continue answering your question, Dana, if Carnival is the only time where our culture is accepted openly, right? Then obviously you're trying to fit everything in that period to get accepted because that's where you're making your money.
I hate when people think like that.
No.
But that's the truth. That's the truth. But it just irks me when we hear that because, listen, we have such a rich culture. All of our seasons are so very rich individually, but it does not mean that it needs Carnival for me and music. Trinidadian music does not need to just stick to a season. And you sigh.
All they're trying to provoke me tonight to start to talk.
We're not provoking. You had a list of points. Stick to your points.
No, I have many things. No, this point actually is very serious to me. Because for me, our culture has been painted into this box by the mere fact that soca has to be played mainly and only and exclusively between Boxing Day and Ash Wednesday every year. Outside of that, the nucleus of our population enjoys dancehall, rap, and other genres of music. I myself enjoy my slows, my R&B and slows. I really like that.
And the occasional Backstreet Boys.
That falls in R&B and
I
slows.
heard him sing an NSYNC once.
Yeah, he's a karaoke king, you know.
That's my life.
He's a dynamic person.
Man get banned from 3 bars I know of, you know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right? So when it has to be put in that box, you had to make sure and get yourself inside that box, because here what's going on as a soca artist. If you're not hitting inside that box, you're not going and get to hit outside, because that's how to go and hire you for the other umpteen carnivals for the year. So I'll use Voice as an example. When Voice sing Out and Bad was the tune, and then we had a Taster Carnival in 2022. And Voice sing Out and Bad. Everybody like Out and Bad. Voice tour whole year with Out and Bad. He couldn't go and tour with Cheers to Life, because sadly and admittedly in soca you are only as good as your last hit. I tell you, I shouldn't have provoked me tonight, you know.
This makes me think.
I think all three of us are equally irked in our own individual ways, and we have so much to say, but can we fit it in the time that we have?
Yeah, so
Well, I think
that's
it is
all
a-
I saying.
The year Iowa win and was supposed to go on tour, the world shut him
Yeah,
down.
boy.
The world refused to let Iowa be
Yeah,
great.
boy.
The man said, right, Soca Monarch, going on tour
Road march
as of midnight tonight.
tonight. And that was it for Iowa. And then, well, he did what he did this year.
I have real respect for this man. I love his music. I love his work ethic.
3 versions, you
And
know.
every now and again, I was had to be like, this man is either a genius.
When we
or
accompanied
insane.
him in 2000 and it released Boxing Day,
Yeah.
2022, Iowa and the people
Yeah.
Yes.
in Iowa.
Yeah.
There were like 8 versions.
I don't know why you do that.
8 versions. I like it.
The man,
I love a good
honestly,
remix.
I'm going to make a call and see if we could get Iowa here next week Tuesday.
you ain't saying nothing. You gonna be here next week Tuesday?
Next week Tuesday is what? We'd have.
Well, I don't know, Aaron. You were real unpredictable this last round, you know.
Thanks to Kenny. Because Kenny now tell me today that I going to Tobago for Panorama.
Why you?
He now tell me today. Next week Tuesday, I don't have anything on my calendars yet, so yeah.
Calendar is
My
what it is.
almanac.
Anyway, so to address one of the points in terms of the lack of preparation that we have as consumers, because you know we otherwise occupied with different expressions of our culture in the relevant seasons, the possibility of saturation, the fact that artists only dropping, or at least music only being prepared for the season, although now we see in that music being released out of season in preparation for the season, which leads to some contest in terms of people saying, oh gosh, only give Christmas a chance now, and things along those lines. We also have artists who drop music year round.
Big up for house.
Big up man like Crystal,
Yeah.
right? We seeing artists who pushing
Soca has no season.
right. But I will tell you, prior to going to the Panman concert, I was like, I'm not going to go and stand up in the people and them party and not know anything that's going on. So I put on your mix. I put on your mix. What was the name?
Super and Soca.
Super and Soca 4, right?
Yeah, volume 4.
And when I got to the party, I was familiar with the music that was being played. I could not tell you when Crystal was coming on stage to perform. I was like, oh wait, yeah, I know these lyrics. Oh, I recognize that artist because
You remember the lyrics?
just from one play, right? The thing is,
Some of them really do have lasting lyrics.
right? And there's a lot of good music. Soca is love. For me, that is my personal, that is my jam. I can listen to that after Carnival.
And that's the thing that, for me personally, I don't have an issue with. I could listen to soca every day for the year.
Right.
Every day. On a Sunday, I want my slows though.
Well, listen to
On
slow
a,
soca.
on a Sunday, I want a little reggae. However, it have some groovy soca that's hit real
And-
hard on a
And
Sunday.
I think that's what, when Keegs was here, and Crystal was saying it as well,
Right.
that soca now has gone to the point where it's the, I'm going to get technical with the terms here, the BPM of the soca is mainly from 125 and up, right? But there's the space now for us who could go and listen to soca and they groove it down and they listen to our Keegs and Trini Baby talking about our love story. or you're listening to Christo saying soca in my blood, or you're listening to Choppy, as you just said, talking about who is blind, or that asking who's the Kahi captain.
Then I want people to understand something and have a space for a show in Winchester still.
Wow.
Right? Aaron, I telling you, and everybody
I
knows.
really like Sharon Winchester music.
I just seen, I trying to get a picture with Sharon Winchester for years. Aaron took a picture with Sharon Winchester and tagged me in it, but it didn't count. But Sharon Winchester for me, set.
You should have come pan in the park.
I wasn't invited. You know how I know you wasn't pan in the park, Aaron? I saw you on YouTube. Anyway, but this is not the place to air laundry.
I have a joke to tell Ole before we leave tonight about that, huh?
Yeah, but there's a space for groovy even as within the family of soca.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, but groovy is a type of soca. But again, the eliminating the groove and giving a kind of power groove.
I was actually talking with my brother on the way here, and to be honest with you, a little crossover killing music.
Yeah.
Crossover is killing music because now you have this homogeneous thump that people just singing in different accents.
But I also think there are so much different directions that artists take within the soca genre that appeal to so many different emotions within you and appeal to so many different feelings. Some of them feel to jump up and wave. Some of them you feel to be on the road jumping up and waving and crying. Some of them you feel to mash up things. You could work out and bench press 1,000 pounds.
Who could do that?
Right?
Yeah, no, I like,
some of them you want to take
some
a take a cool drive with your boo holding hands driving down the coast, right? Some of them you want to cook in the kitchen. Some of them you want to scrub it down. You know,
Let me hold you.
exactly. So I feel like there are so many different directions that artists take that appeal to so many different parts of you. You know, and that is why I could listen to soca every day, because not every day not every day you want to listen to the same thing, and soca has so much to offer that you have something to appeal to your different moods.
You know, Kenny J has a song called 100% Radio, right? Where he talks about the fact that we need a radio station that plays our music and our music alone, right? And to sum up what you just said there, Dana, I don't understand. If soca has been playing since 1948, when King won the road match with radio, right? The first road match ever, 1948. If you do the maths, that is 52 and 23. That is 75 years of soca. And let's say we have 1,000 releases a year.
No. Don't get wild and say it had 1,000 releases a year since then.
Alright, so
I'm not having that.
my bad, right? So let's say for the 75 years of soca,
75,000 soca. Yeah.
no, probably it does.
You know, that's actually maybe not so wild.
I'm not going to say.
I think 1,000 is actually a bit
A discreet,
conservative.
yeah, it's
Right.
a discreet figure.
For
Yeah.
between, let's say, 2,000 and now.
Yeah, there was a point in time it really was 2,000
So that's it. Let's just work with
1,000.
1,000
You
as
know
a
what?
base figure, right?
You know what, Aaron? You're right. let me allow the counter to continue
Right?
counting.
So
man.
for 75 years, there's 75,000 songs. How much hours in a year? Let's see if I can get a maths quick.
Sure is more than 12.
525,600 minutes in a year.
You had to carry the
Yeah,
one.
Dana, you just
And
come
then you
on
had
here, right?
the lines separating the numerator from the denominator.
365 by 24.
You know what kilometers?
8,760.
You're supposed to multiply 24 by 365.25.
You would have saved yourself a real time, Aaron.
Right, anyway.
Look at our account. Our account of
Hello.
He likes to take the hard route.
This man is
Right.
embezzling himself. You know.
8,760 hours for the year. Right? 75,000 songs.
Segue.
What's that?
Of that 8,760, that's the number you call?
Yeah.
How much of them we spend in traffic?
Oh,
I
gosh.
knew you were gonna
We
do it.
had to do it.
I knew you were
We
gonna do
had
it.
to do it. We are spending 33 days a year on average each in traffic.
That's a month.
That is a whole month of the year being spent in traffic with conservative figures, because a lot of people spend way more than 2 hours, 110 minutes a day in traffic.
Yeah.
Some people spend that 110 minutes on one
Commute.
Yeah.
On one way.
Not even round trip.
And 110 is still modest because there are days I have left San Fernando to go to work in Barataria at, let's say, 6 or 6:30 and not gotten up there until 9.
Nah, boy.
And school children had to leave Marabella 7 o'clock to reach San Fernando by 8.
Admittedly, if there's an accident somewhere between Golconda and Gasperillo, it could take me like an hour and a half to get to work.
Or if there was an accident like earlier this morning,
Could take you 3 hours.
on the Beatum, that would push traffic straight back down to Cuba.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying we shouldn't be losing a month of the year
that
each
month.
in traffic.
Probably
Okay,
up to.
so we spoke about the traffic, which equates to a month of the year, and we're bringing it back to the 8,000 something.
Right, 8760, right?
8760 and
Right.
75,000 songs.
Right. So if you look at it, there is, for me, ideally, there is no space for us to be playing music of another genre in Trinidad and Tobago beside what comes from our shows. Ideally, I'm just saying.
That's presuming there was only one bandwidth, one frequency.
No,
on one bandwidth.
I'm talking about in general.
You saying is it have enough music that all stations
All
could
stations
play
should be able to
only
play our music
Oh,
alone.
but
And
with
you're
King
not
Jong
speaking-
Aaron in the corner here,
Yeah,
boy.
boy. You're not only speaking about soca, right?
No.
You're speaking about various genres. Let me tell
I'm
you
not going to say,
something.
and I've reached to that part yet because
we have some sick, like, what to classify them as, boy? The thing is, it's a Trinidadian taste, right? But it's more mainstream, more pop, but
Yeah,
Trini,
Trini pop.
like Hey Choppy had released an album sometime in the Panini 2020 around there, and it was songs like Space Jam, and that was a really nice album.
when he was with Nebula 868,
Oh, he
and
had
they
some
did
great music.
the 5 o'clock in the morning remix.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that was a remix, but the
Yeah.
album was original music, which was not soca, but still a Trinidadian taste.
There's one that I really love from them. Words Can't Explain.
Words can't explain.
Clearly, I'm the only person who
Yeah.
can listen to this album.
Oh my gosh.
Then there was a gentleman from Dung Point. I always forget his name. And he had a
Francis.
really no.
You mentioned Trini Baby, right?
Yeah.
Trini Baby has a song called Retro Love. It is pop, it is like dance, it's funky. I love it.
Now again, this is within the carnival season, so
Oh, yeah, so-
after
so
carnival we
we
will
just-
play
we
this
just-
kind of
Yeah, we
music.
could get into that,
We'll
yeah.
get into that. But the catch in it is there's so much music.
There's a lot of music, yeah.
And
Aaron, if
I'm
you-
gonna get myself in trouble.
You feel a good father will give us an hour on Sundays to come and play something else, man?
that real tight.
Calling something else Sundays?
No, that real tight because
What was that like?
Richard C.
11:45 to 12:45.
No. Richard C
In the
and
night.
Alpha B, they have a segment on a Sunday where they only play Trini pop
Why am I not hearing this?
because
I'm
they
also
do
now hearing about
listen to
this.
work on a Sunday.
Oh no.
Well, because you're not on Aaron. Blink, blink.
Yeah, they work on a Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Bromance.
No, but really, and truly, they have that Sunday evening locked.
Hey.
So that's my thing. There's so much of our local music. Why we have time to listen to Valiant and Skeng and this one and
Hey.
420 and who's these people?
Let him.
And I just call the name of the artist.
Let him eat now.
And eat in Jamaica because we could only eat in Jamaica when it's carnival time. So why we focusing on their music so much outside of carnival, but they just only focus on waiting for their carnival?
That is actually not true. So
No, well, it
I-
has
Thank
grown,
you.
It has
So,
changed. But
thank
I
you.
just
Back in 2010, I lived in Jamaica for 3 years, right? There were persons that loved soca more than me and telling me what releasing, and I was so offended. Internally, I could not show it externally. I had to pretend like I know. But some of my Jamaican friends love soca more than me, and I really love soca. And they listen to it year round. It was not boxed into just a season, but that is a vast minority of people.
and that but whereas in Trinidad is a vast majority of
Correct.
people.
I just amazed that you lived for 3 years in Jamaica in 1 year.
From 2010.
Except from you
From
come
2010.
on, Judgment Carlos.
From 2010.
But really and truly, guys, there's so much that we could continue a conversation like this. Luckily, we could borrow a little bit of time, like about 10 minutes, because we don't want to get in trouble, to get parked to go by Skiffle or by Funclair.
You mean walk?
You had to walk.
I had to go and pick up my aunt.
All right.
Because Pan and Sando is a family affair.
I see.
Perchance, would there be Polaris
No.
in this pickup?
No.
I could come.
Yes, you are most welcome.
Okay, thanks. We walking across after as he go and pick up his aunt.
Yeah, there are no Polaris, so.
We'll figure out something. We'll figure out a way to get all in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
really and truly, guys, and the last thing that came up in like random conversation is that somebody was telling me that the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, because we are trying to get accepted so much globally, that to an extent we are commercializing our culture and losing the authenticity of what Trinidad and Tobago has had to offer.
I think that becoming commercial, or in the interest of becoming commercial, we have definitely sacrificed some of our uniqueness and individuality. Authenticity in...
The man just didn't want to use my word enough.
Correct.
You know, as in search of appeal, we've sacrificed authenticity.
Yeah.
I have a very complicated train of thought on that, because I wonder if I could find the words to express that, boy. Because there are also people who will overextend their Trininess and don't actually live that. So it's also a bit conflicted. Like, some persons trying to blur into the international lines, and some people trying to see more Trini than ever.
Right.
And on both sides, it's kind of annoying. The authenticity, as you rightfully say, is lacking.
You know what?
I
could just imagine.
I said it was a bit controversial.
Yeah. I could just imagine what our chat box would have looked like. Fortuitously. Wait, we back up yet?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I got connected to the
I flipped my phone over when we got back up.
to the WAC Wi-Fi. So.
Hey, shout out to the listeners online.
On the dial.
On
We
the
not
dial.
shouting out online today, just the dial.
No, well, I know that we have listeners who would go back and look for the
Yeah.
video once.
Oh,
they
you're
see it
talking
up.
about those who gonna go on DJ Aaron 868 on YouTube and click the living room playlist.
You know, Ingrid had to catch our episode. You know,
Yeah, of
Francis
course.
T and them fellas. Yeah, had to catch the
Francis is
episode.
a woman.
Well, them fellas meaning those people.
No, okay.
Listen, we're in 2023 for Aaron.
We're not in 2023, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, mankind is humankind. Fellas is now a non...
What?
Next point.
Yeah. No, but
editing all of this out.
No, but because you could get cancelled.
This is never reaching the internet.
You could get cancelled for that. And luckily, I'm glad cancel came up in conversation, because that's our next thing. If you slip in the soca game now, you're quick to get cancelled.
Hey,
And a prime example,
hey.
you see the impact that Kerwin Boy has had coming back after 3 years. For whatever reason, he was out of the game. I'm not going to get into that.
I miss Cohen's music.
Kerwin for me is one of the best.
He is.
Yeah, I gonna while it a little bit. If it wasn't for whatever reason an absence by Cohen the Boy, it would not have had room for certain other young artists to make the breakthrough that they
Just
would
like how in 2012 when a certain thesis pursuing soca artist took a leave of absence, that GW and Blaze won the road march with Palance.
Yeah.
A tune that if you travel the world today, people going and be like, I'm from
was
Trinidad.
2012?
I think so. Kind
Yeah,
of.
2010.
2010. Okay, cool.
That was the year
When he
you
was in
just
Jamaica,
had,
right? When he now started in Jamaica,
Yeah, you just
right?
had the first. That was the first or the second.
That have been the second Black Tulu.
Yeah,
This year's the 15th.
so that was 2011.
2011.
It was 2010 because I remember that playing when I was in secondary school, and I left secondary school in 2010.
I think it was 2010.
Yeah.
2K11, I can't remember, it was Palance. And I think Palance was the first year.
You know what I could do? Anyway, I was going to say something real
It's
bad.
just
there.
gonna
Yeah,
do
I'm
that.
But
wild
yes,
on it.
the leave of absence
it does
created
give us space. And for me, that leave of absence from the thesis pursuing gentleman has created that space for Michael Teja to run out and say that it's in the DNA.
Oh, wait, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to say it, is really pretty much the sequel to Savannah Grass. I am very, very, very sorry. When the two songs start, if you could tell which one going on, you're better than me.
I'll send a TikTok for you now.
Dina is losing her mind. I forgot this is an actual musician I'm dealing with.
I split screen in my brain just now.
No, the chord
And
progression.
you know what just happened? In we DNA.
The chord progression is somewhat similar, but anyway.
Similar. It's like Shirley Chester, look the band coming, and still we coming.
I also heard a song today from one of the artists who you just mentioned.
Cough.
And he had the stage just like Fian was it last year?
And as I say, for me also, I find that it's too short a time frame for some of the samples that we get.
Or some of the similarity.
The similarities in the sampling.
Should I shelf it for like next year's on
I mean,
yeah.
at least,
But then again,
15% now.
No, but then again, I hear some rap songs and stuff like that is basically similarities to 3-4 years ago as well. So
close.
In all fairness, right, we can't talk about the music not having staying power and only being for a season, and then we have a issue when there's trending or a style developing. Or
but what I was talking about was a little too specific. It was not a trend or like the general taste of the year.
And like I said, it has some as really be like, what would be this?
like why you sounding just like XYZ, or why you sounding like yourself from just last year?
Imagine somebody coming out and singing Doreen, How You Go Over Sweet So. You'll be like, wait. That song is a little close to something else.
How Doreen slip out of your mouth so easily?
Nah, doesn't know how many names are with Jolene. Aaron, you know, as a former member, that's actually the answer. And you just saved Aaron from being put on one of the hottest spots I would have ever put him on in the history of the living
You know what?
room.
We have 2 minutes left inside tonight. No, actually 7 minutes left. Let me go ahead.
I'll dedicate 17 seconds to the asking of this question. But as the former president, right, and now member with our portfolio of the Single Men's Association of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you would have known Real Oman. So you would have been able to give me a name that rhymes with Jolene. Would that not have been?
You looking for Aaron 868 to get in trouble on this goodly Tuesday evening?
No, I just think former
member of the Single Man Association.
Single Man Association of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Smart. Yeah, smart man, right? No, you know what? That was a hypothetical question, because now being a member of the Supported Man Association of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you would not be in a position to answer that question, and we'll hand it over to, the next incoming president. You know what, Dana? You're right. I should not have posed that question. I retract.
I actually
withdrawn.
Presidency has been, I think, handed over to either Marcus Blackman or Terry Williams.
This man put Blackie on it.
Yeah, had to be because somebody else, not me.
Wow.
Good evening to my brethren, and I'm 100% sure that his mom is locked on and listening as well.
I'm probably very, very uncomfortable with what it is.
I'm not very confused with what is going on right now. But really and truly, for me, it has an element of the swiftness of it. But then again, that goes with the overarching argument that music has to be released so quickly for it to remain trending. Yeah, the creative process has now shortened. So how creative it could be if you had a release that every 3 weeks. Just like how you had a post on Instagram every day to remain current on the algorithm.
Bombs. My God, I don't want to bother anymore,
Yeah, I give up. I really give up, honestly.
Did I hear this now? Voix Riches.
5 minutes.
Every year, I don't even need a whole 5. Every year, Voix Riches is relevant, and more than relevant, but actually starting to impact the environment around them. Right? I've seen you guys do stuff in the malls and at events and corporate events and meeting presidentesses and all forms
representing Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, and right? And you're doing it. You're staying relevant and unique. Yes, there are other groups, other vocal groups, other performers, but what advice would you give to other performers and other creatives and artists and musicians out there in terms of, being able to find and express yourself? Because clearly you all have put a lot of work into this over a very long period of time. So I don't know if, you have about 2 minutes to please and thank the people however you like. But I would like you to just, throw something out for the musicians, for the artists, them now.
Okay. Wait, boy, you put me on the spot there, but here we go.
As our spot putter.
So, what I would say is not to box your creativity in. To let it out, let it flow, be around people who support you genuinely, and you will find yourself sounding more authentic. Your music, your sound will become very individual, and you'll be able to bask in your individualism. I had actually sent you guys a point that Aaron had mentioned earlier, which is the NPV of a person, right? And I couldn't remember the 3 pillars, but one of them is your reserves as an individual, and the next one is your reputation, right? Reputation in this case is your professionalism, and you need to maintain a certain level of professionalism. No matter how small or big you are, you need to always be professional. Being professional, multiply that by maintaining your individuality. You become a little more attractive, right? And as I say, individuality is a big thing, and you don't necessarily achieve that by being around people that don't support you. Like that's just the truth, right? So a reason why we are able to produce certain sounds is because we support each other and we allow each other's creativity to just boom and then bring it back in. And we are able to find the best way to make whatever product it is very specific and individual to the group. So that is what I will say to people. Maintain your individuality, maintain your professionalism, don't box your creativity in, let it out and then hone it in. Let it out, see what it could do, and bring it back in and make sense out of it. Because creativity is not always sensible, right? It is very much expressive and just out there, and you're able to get all of your energy out. And from that, you're able to pick the sense out of it and weave it together into a beautiful thing. So, do that. You put me on the spot, but the spot was taken.
That was saying. And any general P&T to the listeners, to the people who catching you on the FM?
Yes, all you prepare all yourself before you go into a fete. When I say prepare yourself, if the fete is Sunday morning, wash all your week's clothes on Saturday all you. Come home Sunday morning and sleep and rest and relax because it's work on Monday and you can't show up to work late. Says the person that shows up to work late every day. But prepare yourself. Manage your money properly, right? Now, right now it might be a little too late to mention that, right? But tickets for fetes are oftentimes released from November, December. Plan with your crew. Plan with your crew and really map out what it is you really want to go to.
How about the excitement though?
The excitement is great. The excitement of a low bank account is not good.
Yeah, that's not adrenaline anymore. That's just anxiety.
Yeah, be realistic, right? But you see that point about washing your clothes on the Saturday. If the fete is the Saturday night or the Sunday morning, please take that seriously.
I now catching up to some laundry here from about 2 weeks ago.
I did not go to a fete on Sunday morning, and I told my friend I just didn't prepare. And they wanted to know, what do you mean you didn't prepare? I didn't put things in place. I didn't do all of my chores that I usually do on a Sunday. I didn't wash my car and vacuum inside and all them kind of things. And they laughed. But the truth is, if I went to that fete, I would have been down and out Sunday during the day and would have been unprepared. So, be prepared.
As you say that,
Please.
Please and...
Two things I want to say before we lock off, right? Thank you very much, Dana, for taking time out from your busy schedule to join us inside the living room in studio today, right?
Absolutely.
Firstly, Friday into Saturday, I was on the planning group for experience, the fete, right? So that mean I was real busy Friday, and then I was for the venue for 2 o'clock to do the police and fire walkthrough, and then I left the venue, the fete, when it was done at 10. I got home at 12, got an hour's sleep, and then at Joshua's concert the night. Got home from Joshua's concert at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was capable to drive home because I got a little nap during the day. And when I got home, the only thing I remember, opening the door, locking the door, sitting down on the couch. When I blink, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. So Dana, I fully understand what you mean when they say prepare, because I wanted to go Prestige this Sunday, but the Prestige sleep I got on Sunday, oh my gosh, it was Prestige, right?
Yeah.
Now, preparedness also means making sure you have your travel arrangements in check.
Yeah.
You need to know yourself, you know. If it is you know that you're going to be beat and have 1 hour sleep, have somebody to pick you up, take a little nap on your way home. So at least you will be able to satisfy all of the things that you need to do.
Right. That's one. And two, when they say that you never know who listening or watching you, is a true statement, huh? Yesterday I had a job with Joshua in the Red House. First time in my life I ever went to the Red House.
Serious?
Yeah. Really nice
sure?
building.
So yeah, now the last. Anyway, go ahead. Just actively listening.
Brother man, the one time. Anyway, right, and going in the Red House, and there was a gentleman, I think he was an MP. Didn't make him out because, you know, I'm not really fond on politicians, to be very honest.
I'd say that too. Yeah,
right?
Talk about the MP, you know, meet. Go ahead.
And I really can't remember who it was.
Right.
And the man walked up to me, he was like, I know you. I said, you know me? Where you know me from? Me and my wife sit down and watch you and Marcus talk strippiness on TV for 10 hours for Junior Panorama. I said, serious? He said, y'all did a good job. I said, all right, cool. He's like, kids do hosting jobs and things like for formal events. I said, yeah, you know,
Yeah, I wasn't doing it before I got here.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
And I was like, well, they need my number to call me. He's like, don't worry, I had it already.
The thing I would have said if this was a podcast and not only people and them.
And I like,
radio.
okay then.
Yeah.
So,
He's prepared.
Yeah, that is.
yeah, as Dana said, find your space, own your space, work on your craft, maintain individuality in that space, and it will come to you.
And your professionalism.
And your professionalism.
Yeah. Even I ain't gonna lie, I feel real proud that, you know, all the support I've given you all these years.
Yeah.
have
And most importantly as well, dress appropriately.
Absolutely.
Jesus, why are you attacking me?
I'm not attacking you in any way, form, or fashion, but what I'm saying is,
Ricardo is wearing track pants that you could like just pull out from the front.
In case you get hot.
It have the snaps to the side.
In case you get hot.
no, but really, actually, dress the part. Wait, but Kenny messaged me all that. I said that we had to go.
All right, time
Yeah,
to...
Kenny.
We're having too much fun.
Yeah, we're having too much fun.
He asking who's that fella in the black hat again?
Nah.
All right.
I hope it's not that he's gonna tell me that we're gonna be broadcasting the pan.
Because if there's a case, you'd have to
Vacate the airwaves now.
Oh well, before we get vacated, I want to thank Dana. What's it?
7:15 in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the truth.
Yeah. So I want to
Finish
thank.
the thing now. Finish it.
I don't know where you reach. I already move on.
The
now.
true.
Nation Station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. Right. You only had to tag me in for these things, you know. My mind on gone off already. Then I want to thank you for coming and spending this evening with us in the living room. I want to thank the listeners and the viewers, for the people who are going to go back and watch the video afterwards. We would not be here if you all did not continue to show the support, and more importantly than just showing the support, but giving the encouragement. Because sometimes you really need to hear from people that what you're doing means something to them. Because if you could only act based on what it is you see and you feel, you might not pursue, you might not persist. This was a whole vibe. It was a whole vibe. I'm glad that you're here with
I
us.
was real nervous. I'm glad.
For what? You know, it's just me.
You perform. I see you perform on stage with Nyla.
That doesn't mean I was nervous. I was nervous then too, you know.
And Nyla was probably nervous about performing with Voix Riches. That was saying DT dog, DT the artist, you know. Right, point of note, while there were some points about I love what Dana mentioned in terms of the adulting aspect. Right, prepare for your event because you have the rest of the week to deal with. You have the rest of your responsibilities. I want to point out to people that you should check your junk mail. Check your junk mail because Tech bills, right? For those of us who receive the bills electronically, check your junk mail. It might not be showing up in your inbox, but that don't mean that you're not being billed, right? I checked mine, and I'm telling you, I swear I get a spirit lash. I have canceled my birthday for the next 2 years to be able to pay. I really wasn't seeing it now. I wasn't seeing the bill, and it didn't occur to me to check the junk mail. Check your junk mail. It might have a very unpleasant surprise. Get ahead of it, please. It will be better than coming home and realizing.
Oh, so this is a real thing?
This is a real thing.
Okay.
Check your junk mail if you're getting your bills electronically. In fact, any bills you're getting electronically, check your junk mail. I'm sure you don't want to come home from one of them duck work or runaway types of parties and 2 o'clock at evening you reach home still tight.
Still tight.
Right? I don't know if we could want to jump out while with the D word. Right? But you don't want to realize that after the party,
You're bathing in cold water and the lights off.
if it have water on the line,
No, you don't want to reach home and then it click in the gate, and the gate don't open.
yeah, you ain't looking for that. Right? Just a heads up, guys.
I honestly thought it was a joke.
No, that is, I'm not kidding. I
He looks
realized
very serious.
I wasn't seeing my bill. I was like, something probably wrong with the app. They're waiting until the RIC decide to raise rates to bill people. What are they doing? No, sir. In my junk mail. That is a day. I might have to walk home. I had to walk home tonight. But my lights gonna be on when I reach there. Right, don't forget after the party. Is the after party. And the after party might be real life.
As Cohen said, there's life after feta. I remember that.
This is Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage. Thank you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. Aaron?
And this is yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I remind you each and every time that culture is my code. And I also remind you that love is the currency. So spend some today. Let somebody know that you love them, guys.
Dana?
This is Dana T, the one, the only. I still haven't worked on a big tagline, but I'll work on it, guys. I'll work on it.
Taking it.
Thank you very much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
We'll have you back sometime soon. You could bring
No
a couple other
problem.
members of the choir.
Absolutely. Let me know. I go organize.
Yeah, what I was saying. Right, well, we do have to hand over to Mr. Desmond tonight.
Yeah, he's sailing the world right now. Hopefully he's not the North Sea. No, honestly, I don't know what has brought my TikTok algorithm to videos of the North Sea. That is like the
With
most...
the song, with the Pirates of Caribbean song.
Yeah,
that...
We've all been seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know, right.
I'm Irish.
Just now people was talking about...
Never
No, Lenny, I cannot borrow Kenny's camera and go ban stream Skiffle and Fonclay.
Oh my.
I just letting you all know.
If we had the network back up and running, you might get a little 2-minute live stream or something.
No, there's a guy actually that has been going around called Rebel Tube, and he's been doing that.
Alright, nice man.
Something else I want to say, but I can't say that on it because I'll get him in real trouble.
Yeah, you feel in real trouble already.
Right?
You'll need to make a list of things that you'll say that could get you in trouble and stick it up in
Alright, you have a whole code of things.
I'm not going to say that. You know, there's on TikTok, there's a thing called Guy with the List.
No.
Check it out.
First of all, I don't partake of TikTok, right?
I didn't used to.
No,
Yeah,
I can't. I will go down the rabbit hole and never come back.
No, honestly, I never used to go on TikTok, and then, well...
You succumb to pressures. We're not going to do that.
No, I did not succumb to pressure.
I used to fight it.
I succumbed to support.
I used to fight it.
Because remember, what am I? I'm now a member of the Supported Men Association. So I am supporting my partner in her TikTok foray.
Seriously?
Yeah, she is very big on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Wait, she big on TikTok? As in...
Yeah, she has a very
a large
July
following.
1st. Yeah.
Anyway, wait.
If she has an Instagram that reposts all of these TikTok stuff, you'll send it to me. But I dare
I don't
not
think so.
go on the clock app.
Nah,
I feel
that's
like I'll never come back, guys.
Honestly, I limit my time.
I can't even do that.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pushes and that's it. If you're not in them 5 pushes, hard luck.
I'm gonna trick myself
Sorry.
and reach a 10th.
Ricardo not in them 5 most times, so
And I lie to lie, I post some pretty positive content there, right?
But you also post it on Instagram.
as do I.
Yeah, but Instagram just cut you to 90 seconds. So if I post something for 2 minutes long,
I like Twitter where there are 140 characters. Oh gosh. Hey, anyway, guys, I need to come off because I need to switch back the internet.
oh yeah, correct is right.
Alright, I was waiting on Kenny to send the password for me.
You're saying all of that on air?
Yeah, just waiting on Kenny to send the thing for me to do what I do.
Yeah, that's Godfather. You know, don't get in that.
Yeah, don't get between me and Kenny. That's like
Your listeners is your brethren.
that's like getting between Kenny and Ricardo and Aruti.
Yeah, nobody
Don't get between that.
You know what
Don't get
today.
between that. Anyway, guys,
Big up Sally's.
I'll be on Friday.
Big up Sally's Tuesday morning, bright and early.
Right, Friday I'm gonna be on from 7 to 10 p.m. On Sunday I'm gonna be there in the Queen's Park Savannah from 1 p.m. for the pay-per-view stream of Panorama. You had to pay to watch this handsome face. Remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Let me go on
Love to pay to see it.
let me go on what is called this thing?
Hey, pan boy.
Use all the facial cream and thing like that.
Anyway, you got money and some was he making after that because hey, no, on the real, all jokes aside, that was a brilliant show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a natural entertainer, like he's very charismatic, but being able to carry a production, there's a transparency about the way that he conducts himself. Like even in the middle of an event, he will stop and be like, "Dog, what are you doing, man?" And people gonna be like, "Hey, you know what?
Individuality.
Joshua, you're right."
Yeah, he has his own brand.
Yeah,
and
it's,
he's true to his brand.
It's beautiful stuff to see and to witness. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
And you know, he number one DJ.
Yeah, boy.
You are the Jazzy Jeff to his Fresh Prince.
Tell him that when they see him tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll tell you about how I duck him for one gig.
The one gig end.
The trauma.
One gig.
The betrayal.
There's all of the
Nah,
state.
they know he'll tell you what that's off.
Yeah,
Anyway, guys, I'm going let me play this let me play this pretty search party so Carter will get familiar with it.
Boom.